So Xbox has definitely given us a lot to talk about the last month or so, right? Check this out. This is a remake of the original Halo, Halo 1. This is Halo Campaign Evolved. Isn't that a cute title? This was revealed over the weekend, and essentially this is the new Halo Studios, formerly 343's Unreal Engine 5 remake of the original Halo Combat Evolved with a couple of tweaks and features and shiny new graphics, and this is certainly interesting. I'm a bit mixed on this reveal, but I think the big picture is a conversation worth having. Because I'm mixed because on the one hand, I can't help but just be excited for Halo. I think it's my age, it's how I played games. I'm just genetically bred to be excited about a Halo thing still after all this time. We've had our ups and downs, more downs recently, but still. The original Halo, I wasn't an Xbox kid or anything like that. I had no interest. And then I saw Halo. I don't know if I saw it at a friend's house or something like that, but I immediately sold all my shit, sold comic books and movies and stuff like that, and garnered up cash and went out and got an Xbox and played Halo like crazy. That original Halo still hits so good. On the other hand, we have had remake or re-release sorts of things. We've had Halo Anniversary, right? We had that in 2011, and that wasn't perfect or anything like that, but it was a decent representation of the game. Here, what they're going for is they said in their press release and everything, they're trying to bring the original Halo back, show everybody why they loved it, introduce new fans, make old fans happy, and there you go. With this comes a sprint button, ADS. I think you're going to be able to hijack vehicles introduced in Halo 2. You're going to be able to pick up the energy sword. And it's the whole campaign, but also 3 new missions that are going to be flashback missions, which is also very interesting. Rebuilt a lot of the cutscenes, new voice stuff from the original voice cast, and new sounds. And I think some of that's playing with fire. The sound design specifically, some of those sounds are so iconic. Don't mess with that. From what we have seen in the gameplay and stuff like that, the pistol sounds a little weaker, but that's nitpicking, and this is early. And I do want to say that, judging from this and seeing that it was just, all they showed was Silent Cartographer, this feels like this is still pretty early or not ready to show, not for the prime time, right? Because even in the reveal, you see little stutters here and there, and I don't know. But I think either way, it is a safe bet, right? It's a remake of something that is universally very loved. It's adding some things that I think aren't too offensive to hardcore fans. You could argue sprint maybe, but again, it's the campaign. It's not multiplayer, so it's not really changing anything. But I am curious to see just how well this is represented. And I think the most interesting thing and the thing to watch if you're a Halo person and you're still wondering what the future of Halo is, I think some of it's going to come down to these new missions that they're adding into the game, because we don't have a ton of info about that yet, right? We don't know if it's stuff that was on the cutting room floor at Bungie back in the day, a work in progress type thing, or something in the game that they ended up cutting, or if this is just some stuff that they got from, expanded media, or something that they just came up with and they wanted to put into the game. We don't know how these 3 new missions are going to be accessed. We don't know if they're going to be on the main menu or they're going to be integrated into the campaign. So yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to see just how these are, how these feel. Can they slot into Halo and feel right at home? Especially if they're coming up with them from the ground floor, from scratch here, and not an old Bungie idea. I think that's going to show a lot about what this new version of 343 Halo Studios is capable of in terms of playing with the old and the new. Because we've seen how they've done it in the past, but leadership's changed, the people have changed, the whole thing has changed. So I'm really curious to see how this is handled, because I'm really curious to see what's next. And that's honestly the sentiment I got from a lot of people that I talked to online, and even me. I was hoping for something new. Again, I am genetically predisposed to still be excited about Halo, especially if it's something from Halo 1 through 3. And I will be happy to play through the campaign again with shiny new, very clearly Unreal Engine 5 looking graphics, right? And yeah, speaking of changes, obviously the visuals, the biggest thing. Does it look kind of people joke about what Unreal Engine remakes look like? They all look like the same. Sort of to a point, but I think what they're doing, at least from the surface here, is a good job filling in the blanks where the original Halo was pretty flat. A lot of spots that were pretty sparse. And I think how they're doing it so far, it looks pretty good here. Along with that, the visual effects like the explosions, the gunfire, stuff like that is looking pretty promising. But for me, the biggest thing was them tweaking the cutscenes, because they were good, but they were very simple. They were very sparse. They were very stiff. And now they look fucking awesome. Just the little glimpses that we got here. Like the intro to Silent Cartographer was already iconic. But when you look back, it's very humble. It's essentially a first-person shot of you in the Pelican flying over the water and then flying over to the drop zone, looking over everything and jumping out and going in, you know? You're getting a little briefing by Cortana. You, of course, have the title of the mission pop up on the corner. It's beautiful, right? Or at least that's what we considered beautiful back in the day. But the new version is like over the top. It's got like really good framing of everything. Like, I don't know if they got like a cinematographer or something, but like you got Master Chief standing there rigid, right? As the Pelican hits some bumps and, you know, in the air, you have the soldiers rocking back and forth, but you have Master Chief standing solid. And that's just so cool. He strikes, like, he's such a good striking figure. And the way they portray that, the way they frame him, the way they keep him in frame looks absolutely awesome. Couple that with just the little cutscene you get, you know, a quarter, 30% of the way into the mission, right? When you first get into one of the bases, they reveal the first elite with an energy sword. And he, in the old game, he kind of just like dorped in and that was it. And now they have him framed around the doorway with playing with the light and darkness and the glow of the energy sword. If they can keep this type of like cinematic energy up for the rest of the game, this is definitely where I'm interested. But I think with Halo Infinite and just like how that went down, like I think it had a campaign that was like, all right, I thought it was fairly interesting, if short. The multiplayer played well, but ultimately didn't like it didn't really catch on, right? So like a lot of people are like, okay, what else you got? What's next? And I don't think a lot of people were expecting it to just be a remake of the original game, especially because it's not like a full-throated remake where it's like a multiplayer suite coming again and they're bringing back the classic multiplayer. I wouldn't normally say this for another game, but like with Halo, it's like 50-50, like multiplayer and single player. It's all like a big deal. So they're only doing this remake of the campaign for the Halo's 20 something anniversary. Please don't say 25th anniversary. Okay, it is 25 years. Yikes. Yeah, I think it's really interesting to see that this is the approach. I wonder if they're cooking on something else or if this is a bit of a warm up. I think, you know, with Halo, it's really tricky. They haven't really found their footing with the franchise in quite some time. And obviously, a lot of companies are moving towards safer bets like remakes and stuff like that. But I didn't see it for Halo necessarily because in my mind, the Halo Anniversary 2011 and then the Halo Master Chief Collection, right? Like that to me felt like that was not too long ago. And it took a while for them to even get that sorted, get that all like, you know, all copacetic, you know? So I don't know. Big picture aside, I am excited to see how this goes down again with like the visuals. They say updated animations, remastered music, re-recorded voice lines, which again, I'm like, oh boy, all right. The Steve Downs and a lot of people are older now. Things may sound different, but still that, you know, the new weapons, they're adding weapons from other games, 4 players, online campaign co-op. That's pretty cool. So at the very least, I am excited for people to experience this for the first time, which goes to the bigger thing with this is that this is announced for 2026, specifically also on PlayStation 5. To say that out loud, Halo is on PlayStation is absolutely wild. Look, if you grew up playing games or paying attention to games like when I did, this is something that for the longest time, like a significant period of my life, I never imagined anything like this ever happening. And now it is officially happening. And it is also essentially the final chip to fall. We saw it coming. I saw it coming, right? Like we had Gears of War not that long ago, another big franchise move just away from Xbox, Flight Simulator, like a million Xbox things, right? Like the floodgates are open, but Halo was like the final chip to fall. And I knew it was going to happen. And I was like, it's going to be crazy. And now it's happened and it is crazy, but not as crazy as I expected, right? Like for me, for old heads like me, we're like, wow, oh my God, console wars are over. The exclusivity thing, like this is the final nail in the coffin, right? But I think it's like the excitement is a little muted because it's only a remake of the original Halo game. It is not necessarily the next big Halo thing where people are frothing at the mouth, right? It's not like Halo 3 at the peak of its release, right? And then all of a sudden it's coming to PlayStation. It's different now. Things are a little different, and there are a lot of things to play. I'm not saying the ship has sailed, but I'm saying it's a different ship now. It might be a little bit, but regardless, I am excited for people to experience this game, and I hope the atmosphere is maintained to a point, because Halo was like big and expansive and wondrous and mysterious, and also weirdly creepy at times, and claustrophobic in certain missions, and then big picture like abstract sci-fi, and then awesome gruff military dudes and some light comedy. The game had everything, really. So I'm excited for people to experience like the weird out of nowhere thing that the original Halo was, and why it was such a big fucking deal, and why I still think playing it for the most part still holds up today. But again, I think it is important to talk about like the console exclusivity thing being completely over, because to me with Halo, it's like it's end of the road. This is now Xbox's new position in the market, their new way of going about things, their new way of branding, completely in the forefront. Nothing is murky now. Nothing is not like we're reading in between the tea leaves of what one of the CEOs said, where it's like, well, they kind of said it's exclusive, but case by case basis. None of that bullshit now. It's all out there as far as I'm concerned with something like Halo. So this is the new Xbox, and it's going to be very curious to see how that evolves, how that really comes to fruition with Xbox being just a fully wide open ecosystem marketplace, non-exclusive. We've talked already on Game Ranks here, my podcast, whatever, about Xbox kind of pulling away from hardware or deprioritizing selling hardware, and more building a platform, and more about publishing and selling the games, and having maybe a new Xbox that is more of like a glorified Windows PC that you can play whatever you want on it. So now at the end of the day, with this stuff changing, again, I've always been kind of like console agnostic. I bounce back and forth, right? So I never had like a crazy horse in the race, but my horse is still the horse that I've been riding for a long time, and it's just games. I want good games to be made. I'm greedy. I want to play as many games as possible. So now I just look at this and I'm like, I hope this is the right move, and I hope Xbox with this new positioning can continue to fund and publish good games. I've enjoyed a lot of games that Xbox has published recently, forever, really. So I'm just hoping that they can continue to do that and maybe do it even better, because the reality is like, yes, they've published good games. They have properties I really like Fable and stuff like that. But now, 2025, they also own a lot of shit. They own so much IP. They own so many game studios filled with talented people. So I only hope that this move away from exclusivity and this deprioritization of hardware and building of services allows new games to be produced that are good. Sometimes it can be that simple. That's the bottom line. That's my bottom line. But also Halo is fun. So yeah, did I want a remake? No. Will I play this? Probably. Seems kind of cool. As someone who's played the campaign a lot, I am curious to see a campaign that plays with all the little different things they added here and there. And like any game I play a remake of, it's going to be fun to see what's different, what works, what doesn't work, that whole thing. I like the deconstruction of games. That's why I'm here. So with that, let me know what you think. I really want to know what you're thinking about this whole Halo thing. Are you like me, where I'm like, oh my God, it's on PS5, that's crazy? Are you jaded to that? Do you not think this is a big deal? Did that whole ship sail for you? Do you care about a Halo remake? Are you someone who's on PlayStation who has never touched Halo? Are you looking forward to playing a Halo? You're getting a remake of a good one, so there's that. But let me know how you're feeling about this stuff. I definitely want to hear from you guys. Thank you for listening to me yap about video games and stuff. I do this a couple times a week here, so if you want to subscribe, please do so, but know that I won't spam you with videos. I do news videos every Wednesday, and then I put out other videos like when I feel like it. But then you can always catch me on the Friends Per Second podcast and Game Ranks, of course, doing the Before You Buys. But I'm Jake Baldino. Thank you for listening. Clicking the like button helps me, but that's it. Subscribe because video games, pizza's on me. See ya.